Want to call to order the meeting of the Livingston Parish Council Finance Committee for Thursday, November 9th, 2017. Ms. Sandy, would you call the roll, please?
Jeff Ard.
Here.
Tracy Girlinghouse.
Here.
Scooter King. Gary Talbert.
Here. Thank you, Tracy. Jennifer, you brought us all the stuff for that you bring us everything. You want to go over, you and I talked on the phone today, you want to go over the couple questions I had for you?
Yes, sir. There was a question about the Home Rule Charter stating that we present to the council an operating budget and additionally a capital outlay budget. And we do not do that. We present one budget that has everything in it, along with the budget for debt service. That's not even a requirement, but we just include that in there. And the reason that we do not, and y'all, I mean, I'm glad this question has come up, y'all don't know this, but the road overlay program that we consider like our capital outlay is not really capital. It's a repairs and maintenance expense. We don't capitalize that. Asphalt, per the IRS, has a shorter life than paint. So anytime we do asphalt overlay, it's just a repair. So unless we physically take a road down past the base, like so, completely tear the road out and rebuild it and add turning lanes or shoulders or whatnot, it's not considered a removal of the old road and a capitalization of the new road. So we could present a capital budget, but the only things you would see in it are things that we know are going to not work out for very long, like if Mr. Sam has to buy a new gooseneck trailer because it's rusted out, we replace one of those every so many years, but governments don't really have the type of budget where we plan out replacements of things. We just don't have that type of funding, so we will use something till the very last dying day. And I went back and looked just so I could give y'all some better information about the sort of things that we have been capitalizing in the past couple of years, and it's things like the telephone system, which we did not intend on replacing. Our old one crashed and we had to put a new one in, because obviously we want to use something until it's just dead before we have to replace it. So it's hard to plan capital expenditures. We're not like a private company where you rotate things out, every year you pick so many new vehicles to switch out or new copiers to replace or computers or whatnot. We use it until it's absolutely dead and then we'll have to buy another one. So even on the grants where we are constructing or acquiring capitalizable equipment or projects, we never know exactly when that's going to happen, so I couldn't even really build you a worthwhile schedule of grant projects, because that sort of feeds into why there is a large dollar amount on the federal line item and the state line item. When I budget grant projects, I am telling you that this is everything that we have committed to, everything that we have signed contracts on and are responsible for finishing out, all else equal. The grant goes through and everything that's in the budgeted document of the grant happens. This is what's going to happen, the revenue and the expense. Now, obviously, timelines get skewed. With the flood, a couple of projects got pushed back to where things didn't happen, or old plans for money were scrapped in favor of waiting on new. They're now going to allow us to use this money for river cleanouts or what. So what I do every year is I get with Chad Bacchus with Fort and Tablada, and he gives me his best estimate of all the projects that they're running for us, when it's going to fall. This is how much engineering and construction will happen in 17. This is how much will happen in 18. And I book all of that. I book everything he sells me in 17 for 17 and everything possible for 18 for 18, because I don't want to say I only think it's going to be 10% and we'll probably only do 70% of this 18 number and only book 70% of it. I want to know, this is all of our responsibilities, so the end result is the money that we can play with. I don't ever want to give y'all not 100% responsibility number on these line items. Now, yes, they will get backed out because the grant, it's always delayed. There's a bunch of bureaucratic red tape through the state and Fed that things get slowed down and don't get allocated in the right time, that it rains for 3 months, or, the federal numbers will always change, but like the federal and state revenue numbers, that ties out with the 2 grant numbers at the bottom, and the net of that, of our match, is only like 1.7 million. So I mean, if the revenue changes, the expense will change also. That our match on those, the grant projects, was like 1.7 for 2018.
Okay, so basically, for 2018, the 19 million that you've got under special revenue from intergovernmental revenues, is that the grant money you're talking? What's the grant money number for 18? That's the...
Yes, sir. It's the 8.2 million plus the 7.8 million. Now I'm just looking at the road fund sheets.
Okay, you're at the road fund sheet?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was at summary budget. You're at road fund?
It's basically all in the road through the general fund carries some of it, and the road fund carries the majority.
Okay, so if we go to road fund for 18,
the federal grant line item and the state grant line item
are
all of our grant projects.
Okay, so that is projects that we have submitted the grant application for.
Yes, sir. That we are in active grant.
But they're not necessarily. But they're not contracts signed with like professional services contractor or contractor contracts. That's just we've entered.
No, sir. That is federal or state entities that are going to be giving us money to do a project.
So in budgeting them in 2018, whether they're going to be funded in 2018, if they come available, it can be done without coming back to the council.
Yes, but it's not just my best guess. Those numbers come directly from Fort Tablada.
So those are the numbers that we've already, as a government, signed applications for.
Yes, sir, they are active. The money may not have been released, like permission to proceed, but the application's been submitted, the money's been obligated, it just hasn't been released yet.
Okay. Well, the reason I'm saying I pulled the summary of the 2018 budget, and then I looked at the amendment of the 2017 with last year's 2017 summary. And I noticed that in actuality, we budgeted like 12 million more than we actually got in the intergovernmental revenue deal.
Some of that was probably Cook Road, I want to say was $9 million, but that got slowed down because of the flood. And then some of that was hazard mitigation. We thought there was going to be an extra $6 million or so. I can't remember the exact number from Mark, that nobody else had applied for, and we were going to get our applications in time to get that money also, so we put it in the budget, but that didn't happen.
I got you.
No, but these line items are always state or federal grants that are coming down. Okay. That we've got active signatures on.
Now, on some of these funds, like the road fund, we have a transfer. On the road fund, we always transfer some percentage of every fund to the administration fund? Is that
not every fund is allowed to transfer? Like bingo and adjudicated property, they are ordinance to only provide money to animal shelter. The juror or witness and the criminal court funds, the revised statute says they can't do it. So that just leaves like health unit, road, general fund, that fund the administrative building.
Okay. Well, so in essence, this number, the reason we came up is we were talking about and I think this is a typo, on the deal where you gave us the budget. The 2017, 2018 numbers, like on page 5 or 6, whatever it is on the introduction.
I don't have that in front of me. I only brought road fund with me.
That's fine. The numbers are the same, like 48,000,003, and that was last year's standstill. I think you changed it because the total budget numbers are like 50-something million.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks ago,
the formula might not have copied over.
So 2 weeks ago we were asked. So in essence, if somebody asked what our budget is this year, it's a $58 million budget.
The total revenue.
Total revenue $52 million.
That's the budget.
So even though we project expenditures are 58, we're looking at a $52 million budget.
Yes.
Okay, now we're gonna decrease the road fund by.
The reason the expenditures are more is because we're spending down all of the money that has been accumulating in fund balance.
Okay.
Not all of it, the majority of it.
So in this budget, we have projected how much for the road overlay program for 2018? 4.1 million?
No, that won't help me. No, sir. Is it 6.5 this year? 6.5 this year.
Okay.
4.5 of that is going to come out of road, and 2 million is going to come out of parish transportation.
That's the money that we get. That's our match money from the. That's the money that we get from the state MPO.
Yes.
Okay.
That'll be for 2018.
For 2018.
And then in 2019, I want to believe we said another 5.3. I want to say for 2019.
Is that all going to, the 5.3 is out of the road fund, and then we're going to get some additional state revenue?
A million out of parish transportation and the rest out of road.
Okay. Y'all guys got any questions? Do y'all?
No, I don't have anything. No, I'm good.
Look, I mean, if y'all go back and look at the summary of the 2017 budget, she projected 16.5 million in special revenue on taxes, and we collected 25 million. That's how much sales tax bumped. That's sales tax, right?
Not just sales tax, that's ad valorem. And the reason that there is such a discrepancy in that number is the ad valorem didn't get assessed until 2017, and we thought we were going to be able to record that revenue in 2016. So it just messes up our ad valorem. It makes it look like we're getting, I mean, we are technically receiving 2 years of ad valorem tax for the 2017.
So that's why the bump was so much?
That's why there's such a difference.
So your projected 2018 revenue of 19 is more along the lines of what you expected to be on an annual basis?
Yes.
So the
ad valorem goes back to normal, and then sales tax should stay level.
Now we're still in 2018. All those flooded homes are taking a 20 or 20. What was that? A 25% discount?
No, sir. 2018 should go back to normal if what we're hearing is correct. The 20% reduction was only out for 16 and 17 tax years.
Okay, but the $18 are actually. So you tell me these 18?
The $18 are less because the 17 budget is reflecting 2 years of ad valorem. Because the way they assessed it, the accounting rules say if you receive the cash greater than 60 days after your fiscal year end, that you don't record it on the fund statements here, you record it on the government-wide statement. So you'll see it on the very first statements of the financial statements, but not for budget purposes, which is why we had the budget violation last year. Is because we didn't know until January that he wasn't going to get it assessed until January.
I got you.
Which messed us up. It just threw off the timing a little bit, so it messes up the accounting.
So your 2017 amended budget, you're pretty comfortable that all those numbers are looking accurate for what we're going to introduce on the meeting on the 14th of December?
There are.
Or actually, we're going to introduce them on the 21st for adoption on the 14th.
Yes, I will give you final numbers on the 21st. That I'm going through back and double checking everything, meeting again with the department heads. Like, it will be everything I possibly know at that day.
Okay.
That's what we will introduce as this is our document for the public hearing to be adopted. So I like to fine tune it right up until the last possible minute, because like I said, from that point until the end of the year, if anything happens that I was not aware of or could not predict, it could throw us up greater than 5%. You know.
The daily tower service, we get what is that the same? Is that Mark's? Are we through paying that yet? So this $96,000 is the last payment on that?
I believe so.
We just paid a $404,000 more for the rest of the equipment on the grant.
That wasn't the daily tower, though, was it? That was the mic.
They've already filed it.
Okay, yeah.
And then the Covington Sales and Services, the truck, right?
Is it 320, 319?
321 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the vac truck.
That's the vac truck.
That's making its way all around the parish.
Right. And that
Yeah.
that is something that would have been capitalized. So if we submitted a capital projects budget, which I just don't think is necessary. I mean, and state law doesn't require it, even though the home rule charter says it, it's not necessarily the right thing to do because, like I said, we don't really have a lot to put on there. That was something that had been on our wish list for a while, and we just took the opportunity to purchase it when we had the influx of sales tax dollars from the flood.
Okay.
You know, so it's not like something we would have planned out 5 years ago to purchase. You know, that was just an item that we had been wanting for a long time to make our lives easier.
Okay, anything else, guys?
No, sir.
You don't want to make a motion? Thank you, Jennifer. You want to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by Tracy, second by Jim. Thank y'all. Thanks, Jim.